Hi everyone. Here's another quick and easy holiday gift tutorial for you guys from the Alluring Bead Boutique. My name's Katrina and we're going to make this earring. And I thought I would do something a little different this time, and we'll start out by making the ear wires. I'm going to be using some 20 gauge non-tarnish silver over copper craft wire or artistic wire. And I'm going to have a pair of flush cutters here. And what you're going to do is first going to snip off the end of the wire so you have a nice flat flush end here. I already have one piece cut and it's 1.5 inches long. So now all I have to do is just line my other piece right up next to it and give it a nice flush cut on the other end. And you want to make sure your wire is straight as you can get it. And just rub it through your fingers like that. Or use nylon jaw pliers, whichever. So now I'm just going to put this piece right next to the other one. I'm going to bring in my flush cutters, and I'm going to turn the flush side this way. And I'm going to go ahead and snip right there beside the other wire, just like that. And so now I have two equal length pieces, and the ends are already flush. I'm going to go ahead before I put my wire away, and I'm going to snip off the tip of that wire so that when I go to use it again, I have a flush end to start with. Just a little trick. So for the next step, I'm going to be using these multi-step loopers. You can use anything you want. You can use round nose pliers or any small diameter type of a dowel or something that you have laying around. I like to use these pliers. They work really good. I'm going to go ahead and use the smallest barrel to make the loop where your earring is going to attach. And to do this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to line my wires up. I'm going to grab the wires so that the end of the wire is flush with the barrel, just like that. See how you don't have any sticking up? Now I'm just going to take my thumb and I'm going to roll and roll one more time so that when I pull them off my pliers, I have two perfect loops the same size, one on each wire, just like that. And this one didn't go all the way around, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that right now. And let me just grab it where it was and push around. Alright, so now they are more perfect. And what you want to do is line them up side by side, just like that. Now, I'm going to take this barrel, the second largest barrel here, and I'm going to bring it towards myself. I'm going to take these two loops and face them away from me, and I'm going to push them up against the barrel on the opposite side and get them as close as possible to even right here. Just like that. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to wrap the wires here back across this barrel, which is the second largest, and I'm just going to roll it like that until I have my little curve. So now I have that part done. Then I'm going to grab them with my fingers, making sure that these two bends are as even as I can get them, right there. And then I'm going to take my third largest barrel here. It's a skinny 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to put my wires in just like that, making sure that this part here is nice and even and beside each other. And then I'm just going to give it a little bend back, just like that. And you can see I have one tail that's just a little bit longer than the other one. So all I'm going to do is bring my flush cutters back in, and I'm going to snip that off. And so now they are even. And there is a pair of ear wires. Now you can take a metal file and gently file the ends here to make sure you don't have any sharp points. If you don't have a metal file, you can use a salon board. These black ones that they use for the artificial nails. And this one's kind of worn, so it's about the same on both sides. And I'm just going to gently file straight across that flat end. And then I'm going to feel and make sure I don't have any sharpy, pointy pieces there. And that one feels great. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm just going to come flat, straight across the flat edge, my flush edge. And then I'm going to feel. And I might need to do a little on this side. Just till it's nice and smooth and there's no sharp edges. So there I have the ear wires. So now we're going to talk about the making of the actual earring. So I went ahead and added one of my ear wires to this earring. And for this earring, we're just going to be continuing on with some cubic right angle weave that into an oval shape this time. My last video was on this square shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an oval shape. We're going to use black and silver 11-0 seed beads. You will need two 10mm glass pearls for this project, your ear wires, and your seed beads. Then of course I'll be using fire line in the smoke, 6-pound, and a size 11 beading needle. So go ahead and gather your materials together and come right back. Alright folks, so I am back. And I have a good wingspan of 6-pound fire line in the smoke onto a size 11 beading needle here, ready for us to start. The beads I'm using are check glass beads. And these are from Hobby Lobby. And they are both 11-0 seed beads. I have the metallic silver and I have the black opaque. Got some dumped out here on my mat. And I'm ready to start. Do not need a stop bead for this project. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this black unit right here. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to do CRAW. So let's pick up 4 seed beads. And folks, I do apologize, but this is not like a beginner's CRAW tutorial. If you don't know how to do CRAW, just simply type in CRAW in the search bar here on YouTube, and you will come up with some excellent tutorials on how to do this particular stitch. But the first thing we're going to do is create 1 cube all black. So pick up 4, pass back through your beads, all of them. Oops. Go. And then I'm going to tie 2 overhand knots. I went through all 4 of my beads the second time. And when I tie my knots, I'm going to make sure the knot falls between that first seed bead and the last seed bead I picked up. Then I am going to take my needle. I'm left-handed, folks, so I'll be working towards the left. So I'm going to take my needle and pass through that next bead. You can work towards the right if you're right-handed. So now we're going to create the first cube, and like I said, we're just going to make this one all black. So I'm going to pick up my 3 blacks and come back through my bead. Well, if I think I've got my knot in the way, wiggle it out. Then I'll move into my next seed bead from my first 4. And pick up 2 of the black. I'm going to come down through this side bead here and then through the bead I'm exiting. Move into my next bead here on my base. And then just repeat that step with adding 2 to the needle. Coming through the side bead that I just created in the bead I'm exiting. Then I need to move into the last bead on my base unit. And as I do that, I'm going to step up also into the side bead from the first wall that I added in this round. I'm going to pull it all through and give it a gentle pull, and this pulls my beads upward into the cube shape. Now, here's where my thread is exiting. I need to add the top bead here, so pick up one. We're going to come down through the bead on the other side, back through that bead on the base, and pull. So now we're going to pull our little fourth bead there into position. I'm exiting this base bead, so I need to come up the bead here on the side to the left, because that's where my thread is. And now I need to close up these 4 beads on the top. So I'm just going to take my needle, working again to the left because I'm left-handed. I'm going to pass through those 2 beads on the top. And I'm going to pass through the next 2 beads on the top. Then I need to put a thread bridge here between these 2, so I pass through that first bead one more time and I'm ready to move on. So there we have our first little unit. On our next unit, we'll be adding a silver bead at the top. To do this, pick up 1 black, 1 silver, and 1 black to start this next cube. Pass right back through the same bead you're exiting from the opposite side and pull. Then you're going to move over into the next bead on the base. Oops. Kind of hung up here on a little bit of tools. And there we go. So now I want another silver bead at the top. So what I need to do first is pick up black and then silver. When I pick up for this next wall of this new unit. Then I'm going to come down through the side bead and the bead I'm exiting. And when I pull, I have my second silver bead in place. Scoot over into the next bead on the unit. On the base, excuse me. Pick up black, then silver. Repeat that step, coming through the side and the bead you're exiting. Now we're going to move into the final bead on the base, right here. Then we need to step up into the bead here on the side. So I'm on the left again, so I'm going up through that left side bead. Now I can pick up my last silver, come down the black bead on the opposite side, and through the base bead, like that. Step up through that black bead again. And now it's getting a lot easier to hold. So now we're just going to close the work of these silver beads. So I'm passing through 2, passing through 2, then I'm passing through 1, and I'm ready to start my next unit, which is going to be this all silver unit here on this end. So now we're going to pick up 3 silver. We're going to use all silver this round. We're going to come back through the bead we're exiting. Move over through the next base bead. Pick up our 2 silvers. Come down through the side and the bead we're exiting. Come through the next bead on the base and repeat that step. Pick up 2. Come through the side and the base bead we're exiting. Now we're ready to come through the last bead on the base, and we're going to go up through the bead on the right hand side. Like that. We're going to pick up our last silver bead. We're going to come down the silver bead on the opposite side, back through the base bead. And we're going to step up through the bead on the left-hand side or the right, depending on which hand you use. Now we're going to close the top, and then we're going to do our turn. So go through your 4 beads. And go back in through the first bead you started from. So now we have this much of our beadwork done. So now we got to turn. So we're exiting this bead right here. We need to roll our work and come down through that silver seed bead. We're coming out of this one, we're going into that one. At the top of it's one of the top 4. All right, pull that through. So now we're going to be using these 4 seed beads to build our next unit. And we're going to be picking up the black beads. So pick up 3 black. Come back through the bead you're exiting. Move into this bead on the side. Pick up 2. Come through the side bead and the bead you're exiting. Move through that next silver bead on the unit and pick up 2. Come through the side bead as well as the bead you're exiting. And hopefully don't get your needle in the wrong spot. All right. So now I need to go through this last bead here and up through the side bead like that. I need to pick up 1 more black bead. We're going to come down through the side unit across from it, back through that base bead, pull, then we're going to step up through the bead on this side. Then we're going to close the top. So now I can close these 4 beads up. So I'm going to pass through 2. I'm going to pass through 2 more. And then I have to pass through 1. And so here's where we are so far. We need to do 1 more black unit, and then I'm going to meet you back and show you how to do these units here. So complete 1 more unit using all black beads and meet me back. All right, so I've gotten my next unit done, and I closed my 4 at the top and stepped over through the first one twice. So here's my first little V shape. Now, you are more than welcome to do this earring any way you want. I added these silver seed beads here for the next 3 units because I thought it created some beautiful contrast and dimension to the piece. You do not have to do it this way, but if you would like to do it this way, this is how we're going to do it. So I'm already in position to start the unit. because like I said, I closed up my 4 little beads here at the top. So what we want to do for the next 3 units, we're going to pick up a silver bead, a black bead, and a silver bead. We're going to pass back through the bead we're exiting, just like normal CRAW. And then we're going to move straight over into our next bead. This time we are going to pick up our silver bead first, and then the black bead, because we want the silver beads on the side, not on the top. So now I'm going to come back through the side silver bead and the black bead I'm exiting, just like that. And when I pull, you see that I now have my 2 black beads on the top and my silvers are going along the side. So pass through your next bead and repeat that. I want you to pick up your silver bead first and then your black bead. And come back through the side silver bead in the one you're exiting. Now we need to step through the last bead of our base unit here, and we're going to go up through the silver bead at the same time. Right there. My tail's already getting in my way. And then we're going to pick up a black bead. We're going to come down through the silver on the opposite side and back through the black bead at the base. Come up through your silver and close the 4 black beads at the top. Pass through 2. Pass through 2. And pass through 1. And you're ready to do 2 more units just like that. And then meet me back. So here's where we are. And the next thing we need is just 1 all black unit. So you should have closed up your 4 beads at the top, and you should be exiting one of your black beads. So go ahead and make 1 solid black unit and meet me right back. Alrighty then, so now we're back, and we're 2 units shy of making our turn. The next unit needs to have the silver bead at the top. So remember that in order to do that, you're going to pick up a black, a silver, and a black first. Come back through the bead you're exiting to make your first little wall there, and move into your next base bead. And this time we're going to pick up the black bead first and then the silver bead, so that we are going to have our silver beads on the top of this unit. Pass through the 2 beads just like regular CRAW, and you see I have my 2 silver beads here at the top. So I'm going to go into my next unit, or my next base bead, sorry. Black first, then my silver. Come through the black side bead and the bead I'm exiting. Pull. So now I have 3. So I know I need to come through this base bead and up through the side bead on the other side. Then I'm going to pick up my last silver bead. And I'm going to come down through the black bead on the other side and come back through my base bead. And pull. And once again, I need to step up through this black bead back on this side. And close up the top by sewing through all 4 of the silver seed beads, and then coming back through the one I started from. So now you're going to make your all silver unit, Then meet me back and I'll show you the turn. Alright, so there's my silver unit and I'm ready to make my turn. I am exiting this bead right here. I need to roll my work and come down this next bead on the top. I was exiting that bead right there. And I'm going into the next one. And pulling. So then now I'm going to make my next unit coming back the other way. And I'm using all black beads this time. So picking up my 3. Coming back through the bead I'm exiting. And then I have to move over into the next silver bead right there. And this time I pick up 2 black. I'm going to come back through this black one here and the bead I'm exiting. Then I'm going to move over into my next silver bead. And repeat that, picking up 2. Going to come through my side black and the bead I'm exiting. Now I need to move into the silver bead on this side. And then I need to go up through the black side bead over on the other side. Like so. And pull. Now I am ready to add my last black bead. I am coming down through the side bead on the opposite side, which is black, and through that silver base bead with my 1 bead on the needle. And then when I pull, I need to step up through the bead here on the right. And then I need to close my 4 beads here on the top, just like we've been doing. Go through 2. And go through the next 2. And then I need to pass through the very first bead one more time, which is that bead right there. Right, so what we're going to do next is duplicate this side. So in order to do that, you're going to do 1 full black unit. And then we're going to do 3 units where we're picking up the silver beads for the side. So get your black unit done. I'll show you one more time how to do that side unit, and we'll move on from there. So do your 1 whole black unit and meet me back. Right, before I move on, I'm going to end my tail thread over here. I don't need it. And I find that as I'm getting close to my other side, it starts getting in my way. So you can do that or you can leave it. All right, so now I am exiting from this bead. I closed the top of that unit up. So I need to go ahead and do my sides in silver again. So silver, black, silver. We'll come back through the bead I'm exiting. Step over into my next bead on the base. And this time we're going to pick up the silver first. So silver and then black. Come through the side silver and the bead you're exiting. Step over. Then silver, then black. Well, then pick up your side silver and the bead you're exiting again. And this time when I step over, I also need to come up through my silver on this side. So I'm going through my base black and my side silver. And then I have to put my black bead at the top. So pick up a black, come down through the silver on the opposite side, and come back through the black bead on the base. Step up through your silver and close up the 4 black beads. Making sure you go through your first one last time. Alright, so now you can do one more unit like that, and then I want you to meet me back here because then we're going to close everything up. So just do one more unit just like that and meet me right back. Alright, so it's really starting to rain now, and so I have my doors open, but to me it sounds really nice. So now we're going to close our beadwork up as we create this last unit. We are currently exiting this bead right here. I'm picking up a silver bead onto my needle. I'm going to come through the corresponding bead on the opposite side of my beadwork. Sometimes it helps if you lay it down flat to make sure you're getting the right black bead over here. But you see, if you're looking at your units from this angle, coming around this way and working with those top beads, coming around this way and working with the top bead, that'll help you find the right bead. So pull that little silver bead in, like so. Then pick up one more silver bead. Come back through the black bead that you started with, and pull. So now we have this first little side of our right angle weave, but we want to secure it up. So come back up through the silver bead that you just added, and if you want to, try to go ahead and cross through your black bead there on the opposite side and pull. Then I'm going to come down through this silver bead on the opposite side. And then I'm going to turn my work and come into this bead right here. Now this is on the outer edge of my beadwork. Not the front or the back, but on the side. So now I'm in that black bead. So now I need to pick up another silver bead. And we want to come through the black bead here at the top on the side. So let me get it in position. I'm exiting this bead. I am coming through the bead right here. It's really hard to show you, but there, it's on the side of my beadwork. And when I pull, you can see that I now have a right angle weave unit here on the side. So I'm going to come back through that silver bead there and the black bead that I started from, and pull. And now I am going to come up through right here on the side. Then I'm going to roll my work. And I'm going to come across on the back side through the top black bead right there. So now I'm going to pick up my last little silver bead here. And I am going to come through the black bead right there in the opposite direction, so that when I pull, now I have my little right angle weave on this side. So now I need to tighten everything up, come up through this silver bead, come across this black bead here, then I'm going to come down my silver bead here, and then I'm going to need to go through this black bead on the inside of my beadwork, right there, from side to side. And now that I'm over here, and I'm coming out of that black bead right there, I want to go up through the silver bead right here. And now I need to go through this black bead on the inside again, but at the top of that unit right there. You can see it. There it goes. And come all the way through the beadwork. Then I am going to go down my silver bead on this side. I am going to work my way to my silver corner, so I got to go through the black bead. Now we can just zigzag. And we're going to go up the next silver bead. And we're going to come through the next black bead in this little zigzaggy fashion. Now we're going to go up a black bead. And then we'll go ahead and cross over through my black bead at the top. You guys get the idea. Now I'm going to come up through my next black bead here. And then I'm going to sew over into this silver bead. Just like that. Alright folks, so there's our little oval, and it's really cute and pretty. And I like it a lot. So now I'm going to work on the top part of my earring. Which, as you can see, I've added some extra beads here to really make this shape pronounced and cover up any exposed thread of my silver beads. On this end and this end, I did that. And then I added my loop. So let's get on with that. Now, I could have used size 15 OC beads, but I didn't. So I'm going to still use my 11 silvers for this step. Pick up an 11. You should be exiting this silver bead. I want you to go into your next silver bead. And we're only going to work on the front and the back of this cube. Pick up another silver. Go through your next bead right there. Now, you're coming out of this bead. Let's just go ahead and we'll do the front first. So let's pick up another bead. Come down through that next silver seed bead right there. And now we need one more. So pick up the last one. And we're going to come back through the seed bead we started from right there. And that's what we have, and it's pretty. So now I want to come through the next two seed beads. And that's what we're going to do now is we're going to move around to this side of the beadwork. So the seed bead I am exiting is part of my right angle weave unit right there. So what I want to do is come down this black bead right here on the side. Then I'm going to cross over the black bead that's part of that same unit. Then I am going to come up through the black bead on this side of my beadwork. And now I'm going to cross over into the silver bead right there. And on this side, we're going to add some seed beads and make the loop. Alright, so somehow I have managed to get myself under a thread. Let me fix that. Well, I might have to take my needle off. Hold on. Let me explain to you what happened here. As I passed through this seed bead, I had gotten my needle hung under some threads right here. And I don't want that to happen. I want to be coming out clean out of that bead. So I just took my needle off and straightened it up and rethreaded. So now I'm going to pick up my 11 silver and pass through this next silver bead right here. And I'm going to do that one more time. So pick up a silver and come up through your next 11 seed bead right there. Alright, so now I'm exiting this seed bead. And I'm going to pick up 6 of my seed beads. onto my needle, and I'm going to come through my next seed bead. That was part of my original 4 on this side of my beadwork. And I'm going to pull. So now I have this little loop sitting right here. I have one more seed bead to add on my original loop, so pick up one seed bead and then come through the next 2 seed beads, not the black one, just the 2 silver ones. We're going to work our way back around, just moving through the seed beads now that we have on our beautiful little cube. And if you cannot get through more than one at a time, take them one at a time. But what we want to do is work ourselves around until we are exiting this seed bead right before our 3 beads on the loop. So go ahead and go through that. So now we're back to our loop. What I'm going to do is shape this into this cute little shape that I have on this earring. So go ahead and pick up, or don't pick up anything just yet. Just pass your needle up through the first 2 seed beads on the side that you're working on. So my thread was on the right, so I'm going up on the right. Now, pick up a size 11 silver seed bead and pass through the next 2. When you pull, you get this cute little corner. Pick up another size 11 silver, and then come down through the next 2 beads that were part of your loop and pull. And now we have that cute little rectangular box shape, and it's really cute. So now we need to work back into this first bead right there, because that's one of our original right angle weave base unit beads. The next bead is one that we added in the embellishment round. But what we need to do now is work down to this triangle. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and come through my embellishment bead. Then I'm going to come through the next 1 seed bead right there, the next silver bead, because that's part of my base units again. And it's easier to work with to get down to the other end. So now we're exiting that bead. We can just start moving back down through our beads in the crisscross fashion. So come through the next black one down, and you should be following your thread path from your original units. Then we're going to go over through the next black one, down the next black one. I got a little something pulling here. Hold on just a second. Let's see what I've done. There we go. Well, I'm hung up here on my loop. There we go. Make sure you don't get hung up on your beads. Anyway, just crisscrossing back and forth, and where you want to stop at will be this silver seed bead, the first one here that's part of the black unit. And I'll meet you back. So I've zigzagged my way back down, and I like to take mine 1 bead at a time because it helps to keep this beautiful shape of your cubic right angle weave. So here I am, and I'm going through that silver seed bead. So now we're going to add our embellishment beads on this end. So pick up your silver and pass through your next silver. Until you've added 4 in between the 4 beads on your base. And so now I'm going through the bead I started from, which is a base bead. So there I have my little diamond shape here. Now I need to get to the other side. So I am coming out of that silver bead. So I remember I need to work through my unit and follow my thread path. So I have to come down the black bead, on the side. Then I'm going to go through this black bead on the side. I'm going to flip my work over. I'm going to come up this black bead on the front side of my earring. And then I can cross over through the silver bead. In that manner, I have followed my thread path. Alright, now we're just going to add 4 silver beads, and then I'm going to show you how to do the drop. So go ahead and put your 4 beads in, and meet me back when you've passed through the beads you're starting from right here. So I'm back, and I'm adding my last bead, and I'm passing through the seed bead that I started from. And now I need to work my way around. And where I want to wind up is in this seed bead right there. That's when I added this one in the middle is part of my base, and that's where I want to wind up. So what I'm going to do is come through the beads that I've added and my base beads, and then the next beads that I added, hopefully. Well, I might have to take that a step at a time, just for sake of not taking forever here. So now remember that I want to be in this bead, that middle bead right there. That's the one I want. So now I'm exiting right there. Now, if you'll notice here, there are 3 beads. We added this bead on the tip, and we added this bead on the tip. This bead in the center, which runs in this direction, is the bead that we want to go into right now. So just go straight out of the middle bead into this bead. Right here in the center. If I could get my camera to focus in. Right there in the middle. Alright. So now we get to add our drop. Alright, so we are almost done. Then we're going to add the drop. To do this, I want you to pick up 4 of your seed beads, silver. Then I want you to pick up the pearl and 2 more seed beads. You don't have to use these big honking pearls. You can use whatever you want. I want one of my small, weird-looking seed beads on the end, so there we go. So I've got 4 silver seed beads, my pearl, and then 2 more seed beads. I'm going to bring that stuff down. I'm going to kick that last one out of my way, and we'll skip over it because I want to go through just this pearl. I'm going to go through 1 seed bead, the pearl, and a seed bead. So skip the first one, the last one you picked up, excuse me. And then tug it like that until your pearl is situated close to the beadwork, like so. Pick up 3 more. And this is not tricky. We were working with this silver seed bead centered here. You can tell that my beads are laying on this side. So that lets me know that I need to come back through that seed bead there from the other side. And when I pull, that's what I have. Now, I like to wiggle mine around. I don't want it too tight because I want my beadwork to look just like that right there. So now I'm coming out of that seed bead there in the middle. What I need to do is come down through this seed bead right there, because that is another one of the seed beads that's part of my base unit, and that's where I want to go. I don't want to go in this seed bead because that's one of my beads I added for decoration. So I've went into this seed bead here in the middle. So now I'm going to come into the next seed bead that's part of the base right there. Make sure that you don't snag under any of your threads, and just get through that seed bead clean like so. And don't pull too tight that you pull your pretty little beadwork out of shape right there, because I like for it to look my lines to be nice and straight looking like that. All right, so now we're exiting that seed bead. Now we're just going to weave off back through our beadwork. So now we need to come down this seed bead, the black seed bead, right there. We're going to come across this next black seed bead here, like that. Then we're going to come down this seed bead on this side. And now I'm going to come up and work on the front part of my, or actually it's on the back side. So this is the back side. See how my loop is on this part of the beadwork. So that's the back. So I'm coming out of that seed bead on the side. So I'm going to come across this beadwork through that black seed bead. Then I'm going to come down through the black seed bead on the side. Maneuver my work so that I can come across this black seed bead here on the back side. And I do that because I like to make one full circle around these beads. So now I'm going to come back up, just the black one. And I'm going to zigzag my way up to here. So you have to come across. And that bead's getting a little tight. Then I can start going up the silvers. And across the black. Now I'm on the left, so I'm going to go up the silver on the left. I'm going to go across this black one. Then up the silver on the right. And then I need to go across this black one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew around these 4 black beads. Actually, I'm going to go through 3. So I'm going up the black one on the left side, across the black one on the top. Then I'm going to go down the black one on the right. Then I'm going to roll my work and I'm going to go across the bead on the inside. And now I'm going to end my thread, because my thread is nice and secure and I don't have to worry about it coming loose. So now I'm ready to add my cute little ear wire I made at the start. So I'm going to open up my loop, just like this, my pliers. And I'm going to come through the back side of this loop here, my loop of beads. And I'm going to take my little pliers, and I'm going to close up this wire on my earring. And I like for my wire to be between those 2 seed beads in the middle. And if you have to, you can get out your round nose pliers just to make sure that your loop touches the back part of the earring. That way you don't have to worry about it. And then there we have it. Another quick and easy gift idea. Could probably make these beautiful little earrings in an hour to an hour and a half. And they're a great little gift, handmade with love from you to your loved ones. All right, folks, so that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click like. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Go sign up on my website to follow my blog. Sign up for my newsletter, and you can take advantage of all the special offers I have there, and more tidbits and interesting things I post on my blog. All right, guys, have a great and wonderful day, and I'll be back soon with some more quick and easy tutorials. I think I'm going to try to get away from the CRAW for the next few videos, and hopefully try to do a little bit like these beautiful Purell earrings I showed you in the last video, These are real pearls, and they are approximately 5 millimeters. You can use any kind of beads you want. But if you do use the real pearls, the holes are kind of tiny, so go ahead and make sure that you've got some 22 gauge wire. You know, I'm just using artistic wire here for these. And then I made the ear finding with 20 gauge, just like we've been doing. All right, folks, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.